Facebook Live. So I decided, since I never tried this whole Facebook Live thing, that this would be a very awesome time to start. Mostly because I talk a lot and I have no problem filling up conversation, and I'm opinionated and I like to be in front of a camera, so I'm not really down with technology, but it got mentioned to me that you could do this whole live thing and people can tune in when they want and they can kind of, I don't know, leave you comments, ask you questions. So you'll have to excuse me on being very new at this and not exactly knowing what to do with it quite yet, but I think it's so solid that this is kind of what can go on. So what's up? Welcome to another Thursday night. I'm literally seconds in my door coming home from one of our talks. So for any of you who don't know, I'm involved with a company right now called Yesssss. We sell supplements, vitamins, and blah, blah, blah. I'm not here to sell you on supplements tonight, but anyways, we were just having a really awesome talk, and part of that was going into your personal wellness and health and being your best self and kind of what drives you, motivates you. And I came home thinking about that because it was, it's occurred to me a lot in my life recently, like, what do I want to do, or where do I see myself, or what, where do I want to take anything that I can do in the world? What am I going to do with it? And I had a conversation with somebody last night. One of my really good friends, called him up and I was like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? What am I doing in London, Ontario? Why am I here? Why am I sitting around here? What is the point of this? And it was almost having a conversation out of complete desperation, because I was like, what am I doing? Why am I here? And so he helped me kind of break it down, and it was like, what do you like doing? What are you passionate about? Like, I know the things you're passionate about. I know when you talk about teaching yoga and, being a motivational coach and doing public speaking, like all of these things are what motivates you and what drives you. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. I know these things. This isn't new information to me. So kind of hearing somebody else say it really kind of brought it to the forefront of my mind. Is like, okay, I'm spinning my wheels feeling like, yeah, I'm in school for holistic nutrition and I love it. It's incredible, but do I want to be here? Do I want to be in London? Is this where I see myself going? And it got me thinking about everybody else and how there's this, this need to kind of figure out what it is you love and kind of following your passion, because so much of us have been told in our lifetime that, yeah, the thing that you're supposed to do, you're supposed to go to school, go to post-secondary education, get a good job, start a family, you're supposed to do all of these things in your 20s, have this all nailed down, and then by the time you turn 30, boom, your life is together, you've got that house, you've got the 2 kids, you've got the car, blah, 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 you work your ass off until you're 60, and then you retire. And that's never really worked for me. I mean, for any of you who know me, which obviously most of you do, so thank you for people hanging out and listening to me speak right now. But anybody who knows anything about me knows I don't do things like a normal person, and I never really have. I lived in the Middle East, I lived in Ireland, I lived in Costa Rica, I've done a lot of traveling, and I do things the way I want to do them, and they're not necessarily traditional, which has worked for me. And so many of the people that I know have also had that same experience where they don't do the normal things. And so what I kind of wanted to just have a conversation about tonight is about following what is authentic for you. Because this whole idea that you're supposed to, have kids, make money, buy a house, retire, and then hopefully one day you travel the world and do what you want and actually be happy, that's ridiculous. It's bullshit. It's actually proven that, like, in the big scheme of people who wait to do these ginormous things when they retire, 3 years after they retire, they die. Why do they die? Because your dreams have died. All these ambitions that you had have died because you busted your ass your whole life trying to make money, trying to do something for yourself, and then there's just nothing left. You know what I mean? So that's one of the biggest things right now, is what motivates you, what drives you, what inspires you to get up every single day, what inspires you want to be something with your life. Like, where do you see yourself? What lights a spark under you? If it's going to that factory job, that's great, that's amazing, it would kill my soul. But for somebody else, that's going to be exactly what works for them. And a lot of what I've been kind of thinking about recently is like, what inspires me? What do I want to do? So when I sat down and kind of wrote my intentions for 2017, and it's always been intentions for me because I don't believe in setting goals necessarily, because I think that puts us expectation that if you don't reach them, then somehow you haven't achieved something. So for me, it's been better to say my intentions, because I have these amazing intentions for what I want to do and what I want to experience and who I want to help and what I want to achieve. But I'm not a failure if it doesn't all fall to the way that I think it should. So when I sat down and kind of thought about, okay, what am I going to do and how is that going to look for me? What I really wanted to kind of get into the mindset of is that I wanted to be Siobhan for a living. I wanted to be myself. And so like that started, if you can see, this is only part of the walls of things in my house, but part of it is, it says right on my walls, like, be Siobhan for a living. So that anytime I come in here, which is every day, because this is where I meditate, this is where my working station sets up, but I see it and it reminds me that like I need to do something that's authentic to me. I need to have success in a way that looks the realest version of myself. So for me to go and work in a 9-to-5 cubicle job, that's bullshit. I couldn't do it. I would go crazy. But for me to be a motivational speaker and be a coach and be just doing life-altering things for people, that's really spoke to what I want to do. So part of where I saw myself going and what I saw myself doing was like, well, I'm going to live in Costa Rica. That's definitely going to be one of them. I'm going to teach yoga. I want to be a life coach. I want to be a holistic nutritionist. And these things were never the kinds of things that you hear about when you're in school. Because it's not like you sit down with your coach counselor, and I wish they had said something, and they say, yeah, okay, here's your list of occupations. You can be a lawyer, a doctor, you can be a mechanic, or you can do all these things. And I remember thinking about like, okay, well, if I'm not going to be a teacher, I don't want to be a cop, I'm not going to be a lawyer, and I don't like blood, so I can't be in anything in the hospital setting. So what does that leave me doing? Like, there's not this, like, you don't get this huge book of these other opportunities of things that you can do. And there's so many things that are available to you that you wouldn't ever know. So part of it is, for anybody who's sitting there going, man, I don't love what I'm doing. I'm not motivated to get up every day. I don't have that jump and that boost of these amazing things that I want to do. It's starting to think about, okay, well, what are your passions? What do you love? What do you think about that just brings energy and light to your soul? And that's the kind of things that you have to think, like, anything that you love doing, somebody's going to pay you to do. And I mean, I'm not talking like, you know, anything. Like, that's the beauty. If I said, oh my God, I love my glasses, I want to just wear them all the time. Well, fuck, man, there's going to be an industry for somebody who says, I want you to model those glasses in some random country, and you can make it happen. Or, I love talking, so I'm going to sit in front of a live video and have some people tune in and listen to the things I have to say, and somebody's going to pay me to do it. So it's kind of finding out what's your thing, like what motivates you, what drives you. Because there's no point being stuck in some dead-end job that you're going to spend the next 60 years. Because Tony Robbins is an amazing example of somebody who's obviously motivating and knows what he wants, but he said that success without fulfillment is failure. And if you really think about that, that's so true, because you can have all the money in the world, but if you go to that job every day and you want to kill yourself, yeah, you've got money and that's great, but then what? You hate your lot. You hate your job, you hate your life and what that means to you, and you spend so much of your life at your job. Shouldn't you love what you're doing? Shouldn't you be excited to go into work every day? Shouldn't you be motivated to get out of bed and like carpe diem and fuck your day up and just have an amazing run at life? Like, if you're not doing things like that, and if you don't have that kind of motivation, where are you getting the drive to get up every day? So what I do is going to be completely different than what anybody else does, and my version of success is going to be totally different, but it's about finding something that's authentically resonates with who you are and makes you excited and makes you passionate and makes you want to do great things with your life. And it's about trying to figure out what that is. So a huge thing for me has been, obviously, it's trial and error. You know, not everything works out. I've spent a lot of time working in restaurants and then traveling and then coming back to the restaurants, then living somewhere else and trying something else. But every single time you keep trying, it's going to give you a little bit more clarity in where you see yourself going and what you see yourself doing. So that's really important too, because I mean, if you never try, like, that's failure as well. Because having these great ideas but never adding any life to them because you're too scared. And so many of us don't make decisions based on being afraid of what our peers might think, being afraid of what our family and our friends and not having success as we kind of deem it. A lot of us don't ever call to action on stuff because we're just worried, which is usually for nothing. Because if you ever are really passionate about something, even if it doesn't make you the millions that you assume that it does, it's going to teach you something. So that's part of it too, and it's all like this massive learning curve for your life. So my biggest kind of rant, I guess, tonight is following what feels authentic to you, finding a reason to jump out of bed in the morning, looking for other ways to make alternative money, volunteering and trying your hand at different things, and then just giving yourself permission to try and fail and try again, and be motivated to do something and move countries and move cities and try different jobs. Because it doesn't matter if you have kids, if you're single, if you're whatever complication that you give your life for why you can't achieve your goals and why you can't try something new, don't limit yourself to that. Like, literally, you have this one life. Why not make it extraordinary? And if you're waking up with that sensation every single day that there's got to be more out there, well, yeah, there's so much more out there. So get your ass off the couch and try something. Try something that motivates you. Feel like excited to wake up and do something, whatever that something is. But if you never try, you're going to keep doing the same things. And I mean, for some people, that's fine. And mediocrity is okay for some people. But if you're the kind of person who wakes up going, man, there's got to be more to this. Yeah, there is. There's so much more, and you have so much to be excited about, and you have so much that you can do with your life, but you just have to go for it. So as somebody who's constantly been searching in my life, and like my word could be described as searching, because I've searched in a lot of countries doing a lot of different things, I don't know that I've necessarily found the answers for what I'm going to do or where I'm going to make money or what country I'm going to be in next, because I mean right now it's looking like Costa Rica, but maybe it's Abu Dhabi, maybe it's, I don't know, it's somewhere else. But the point is, if you never try and you stop yourself and you don't, take the time to kind of realize your dreams and follow that and see where it could lead you, I mean, you're just gonna have this bland mediocrity. And I hope whoever is listening to this feels a little bit inspired to go and try something new. I'm always trying to build and improve and work on finding different ways to be authentically me and being myself for a living. So I encourage all of you to do the same. And I really appreciate anybody who's kind of listened to this out or tuned in. I'm gonna continue to rant, and it'll be on different things. And if you want more information about vitamins and supplements, I've definitely got lots to say about that, and you'll probably hear more of it. So awesome, this first experience with Facebook and how crazy technology is that I can be talking to you live somewhere via Facebook. So thank you so much for listening to me, and I hope that you feel a little bit inspired to follow your dreams. And I guess I'm going to finish this because the awkward part about having it on your phone. But have a great night.